your seat, light it up, let's unwind. Kevin and Kerr bringing topics of all kinds, from cigars to sports, family and more. Everyday stories you'll want to explore. So take a puff or ponder away. Join the talk, it's the highlight of your day. Puff and ponder where the sparks ignite. Conversations blazing day or night. Tune in now, let the stories take flight. It's the Puff and Ponder podcast, where we get it right. From fast cars to last night's game, family laughs or today's big name. We've got the topics, we've got the vibe. Stay tuned in and enjoy the ride. So lean back, relax, take a break. Kevin and Kerr got the chat you'll appreciate. Puff and Ponder, the show that's great, where conversations ignite. Don't hesitate.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to a new season of the Puff and Ponder podcast. I'm your host, Kevin Shahan. Joining me, as always, my co-host, Kerr Viajante. Kerr, how you doing tonight?
I feel rested. It was a good break off, good time off. But yeah, feel good. Great weekend of football. Saturday, Sunday, Monday was just football. And I can tell you, I haven't been this excited about football in years. And it was just a great weekend.
Well, before we get into all of that, let's light up a cigar.
Yeah.
So let's puff while we ponder.
Yeah.
What are you smoking tonight?
The Belladonna Wild Card.
Oh, right on. I've got two cigars lined up. Both of them from Zeal Cigars, my good buddy over at JB.
Yeah.
I'm going to start off with the Good Soldier, and then I'm going to move on to the Faithful Servant. I've had these before, and they are fantastic cigars. And then while we light these up, I just want to remind everybody to head over to the Cigar Prop YouTube. Or, well, if you're watching on YouTube, we uploaded a video during our break of a Cigar Oasis. Sent us 3 of their new Oasis Plus 4.0s along with their Caliber 5 hygrometers. We are giving these away, one on our YouTube channel, one on our Rumble channel, one on the Instagram. So find all of those videos. If you're go to YouTube, look up Cigar Oasis. I have the links, so you don't have to go searching. You have 3 chances to win. You can only win once. But yeah, thank you to Cigar Oasis for always taking care of us.
Yeah. What about yourself, man? How you feeling?
I'm feeling tired. I needed the break because the holidays are really tough at work. Everybody's always taking time off, and I'm always the guy that works through everything. And I was like 6 days a week for it seems like for a month and a half, and it was nice. I needed this break. I needed one extra day to get caught up on everything, and then we're losing a guy at work in like a week. So for 6 weeks, I agreed to work Sundays and have Monday be my only day off. So I got to work Sundays and 6 days a week for like 6 weeks, starting in like a week. So yeah, absolutely annoying, but it's what I do as the good technician, employee. It's because nobody else is stepping up.
Yeah. Well, good for you. That's why you are who you are.
What's going on? That's why, that's it. That's why I make what that's all I tell the kids. That's why I make what I make and you make what you make. What's going on, RJ?
Exactly.
Henry, what's going on? Hashimoto, what's going on, brother? And then didn't I see someone else? Oh, maybe not. So yeah, let's chat about that game last night.
Well, first of all, I want to say great football over the weekend at the NFL, and boy, oh boy, the the referees can't decide on what's a catch when two players.
Yeah. What's a catch and what's not to catch? Yeah.
You know what, man? It's tie goes to the receiver. If he's down, I mean, I thought the guy from the guy from the Bills. I thought that was a catch. I'm a Rams fan. I'm an Eagles fan, Rams fan, been a Rams fan my whole life. But that was a great game with the Bears.
That Bears, our quarterback for the Bears. God, what a I used to be not our quarterback, so I'm a Dolphin, but the old Ohio State quarterback.
He's. I mean, listen, that was a tough game. So you got the Patriots and the Broncos are going to be playing, and then you got the Rams and the Seahawks who are meeting again. They are in the same division. I mean, that division there, and it was 3 of them were in. It was the Seahawks, the Rams, and San Francisco. They're all from the same division.
Who's Kerr Viajante's Super Bowl lock?
Well, I got to go with the Rams. I have to go with the Rams. And the Patriots look good. And I think without Bo Nix, it's going to be hard for the Broncos to do what the Broncos do. So I think it's going to be a Patriots-Rams Super Bowl.
Man, I thought we'd get at least another 10 years before we'd see the Patriots back in the Super Bowl.
Well, they were quiet. I think, again, that was another one of those. Them and both those teams, the Broncos and the Patriots, almost kind of quietly went through the season. And then all of a sudden they're like, hey, guess who's one of the best teams in the NFL? You're like, the fucking Patriots again? Tom Brady didn't go back. Wait, hold on. What year is this?
I was going to see when the last time the Patriots won a Super Bowl.
Tom Brady
2019. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, figure
so that's what I think.
Yeah. All right.
But last night's game was pretty good. That was a freaking slobber knocker.
Yeah, it was. I thought it would be more of a blowout, but I think Miami just proved that I don't know, they're just thugs. That's all they are.
Yeah. I told you last night I was laughing my ass off because after the game I'm watching, because I couldn't sleep. I'm watching some of the wrap up. I'm like, they're giving Indiana the award. They have them on the stage. They just won the national championship. It's the first time they've won the national championship. The freaking Heisman Trophy winner is on the national championship team. And it's been the first time since the 1800s that a team went undefeated and won a national championship. And these people are sitting here talking about Miami and how well they did in their program. I'm like, what is this fucking stupid? What? And then I realized it was the ACC channel.
Oh, was that?
I thought it was ESPN. I was cursing. And I was like, you dumbasses. And I realized, oh, shit, it's the ACC channel. So I had my moment. I had to laugh at myself. But, man, that touchdown run.
Yeah.
The quarterback, gosh, dang. I mean, that's why he is who he is.
It just proved why he deserved to win the Heisman.
Yeah. He's a bad crier. He's a bad crier.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it was definitely a good game. Miami had if they hadn't doinked that field goal, yeah.
If you doinked the field goal, I thought Indiana piss poor management of the clock before halftime.
Yeah.
I mean, just someone somewhere freaking had a brain fart. But I don't think you could have asked for a better game. Again, like you said, Miami act like thugs afterwards with, that guy who was at number 4, I can't think of his name. He played a hell of a football game.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're swinging after the game. You're stupid. The quarterback ran in, didn't shake anybody's hand.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
6-year starter, not going to class. That's the other thing. I was reading an article that said it's official. There is no more college football. It is just now 2 professional leagues.
Yeah,
it's the NFL and it's the freaking it's the college football, whatever, blah blah blah. The guys
Malachi Tony, that's what his name. Yeah,
the guy doesn't. Yeah, the guy doesn't. He's six year. What do you think? Say it was a 6-year redshirt freshman. What the hell they were saying?
Yeah,
I'm like,
6-year redshirt freshman. Yeah.
that doesn't make any sense. You know, whatever it was.
Yeah.
I'm our 6-year redshirt senior doesn't go to class, and I'm thinking, okay, when I went to school, it was 5 years to play 4 years. You had 5 years to play 4 years of sports.
Yeah.
If you played 4 years and you were started from the beginning, there's your 4 years. If at any time during your career you got injured, they could redshirt you. That was your red. So you had 5 years to play 4 years. I know after COVID things got a little loosey goosey.
Yeah, they added an extra year because of COVID. I remember that.
But then we're done with that. But I still think they're like, oh shit, this is a moneymaker. You know, let's keep this going. And then whenever you transferred to a school, if you went from like Division I to Division III, or even Division II to Division III, it had to do with scholarships. You didn't lose a year eligibility.
Yes.
But if you went from Division II to Division I or Division I to Division I, you lost a year eligibility.
Yeah, and it used to be you have to, you had to sit out, when you entered the portal.
Yeah.
And that's not a thing anymore. And we're gonna see. They say it's gonna be either this year or next year. They said we're gonna see someone declare for the draft, not get picked, and try and go back to college.
Yeah,
it's gonna happen. I don't know exactly what the rules are on that,
it is a business now. I mean, it always was a business, but that business always had like a line that was drawn in the sand when it came to the players. And instead of being smart about it and saying, you know what, maybe there's more you could be doing for the players, since they do the image and likeness. I get it. It's they're not selling freaking number 0 jerseys in Indiana, right? We know what jerseys are selling. I get that part, but they're also getting a free education, and they're getting all this. I mean, everything for free at that school. If you could find a way to give them some stipend, that's great. But God, this is
because it's not even name, image, likeness anymore. We're just paying them to pay.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like hey, it was supposed to be, hey, if ESPN college, they use my jersey or my likeness in that game, I should be able to get a cut of that. We should be able to negotiate that. If I want to do a commercial for my local town's car dealership, I should be able to negotiate some money for that.
Right.
Now it's just like, I don't even know how they're getting away. They're just paying them to pay them. And that's all it is.
It's that foot in the door. It was like when a president is elected, they have a number of different dinners and events that are hosted by all donors and freaking money interest groups and stuff like that, or interest groups. And there's one meal, I can't remember who basically pays for it, but one of the rules that that they have when it comes to a number of these lobbyists and folks is that they can't pay for dinner. And dinner is defined as a sit-down meal with a fork and plate and everything. So what they did was they found a way to skirt the rules, and they have finger foods. So they're still having a meal. They're still able to sponsor it, but now it's finger foods. So you got
this isn't a lunch, Jerry. Soup isn't a lunch.
No, Jerry.
Soup
Jerry,
isn't a meal.
Soup isn't a meal. We don't want you to take me to Mendy's. Give me something really nice.
Yeah, that's it. Finger food isn't a meal.
It's not a meal. But now, like you said, it's like, okay, well, here's the rules. You've got to pay for their image likeness. Like, okay, yeah, well, there's going to be jerseys sold. It's that foot in the door in order to do what you want to do, which is pay someone a shit ton of money to come to your school. You don't have to worry about any more of these freaking alumni and donors and getting freaking in trouble for buying Bosworth a Corvette and letting him sit and pay him $100,000 a year to oversee a freaking oil well. Now the money goes right through. It's all legal.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's like I said, they're farm teams. That's what they're that's essentially that's what it is.
Mm-hmm. It certainly is.
Eventually we're gonna see the Dolphins kick one of their players back. Hey, you want to go back to college for a little bit?
Yeah, what's funny is the NFL, it was always, they've been working now for years trying to figure out how to have another, basically a farm league football team, a league that's successful because they've done it.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah. We got one set up.
Yeah. It's just and what's great is you don't have to pay them. Yeah. And I mean, I can't imagine. Can you imagine being one of these players in college and just making freaking buku bucks, and then you go to the pros to take a pay cut?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly. Especially if you're, even if you're only making, like you're a no name on the college team, making $1 million a year, to go league minimum is $650. I forget for what it is. Yeah, you're gonna take a pay cut to go to the pros. Like, right in the I mean, unless you're guaranteed first round. I mean, most first rounders are guaranteed 10, 15, 20 million, signing bonus. So if you're not guaranteed first round, man, why take that chance?
I remember that game, the Catholics versus the Convicts.
Yeah, keep being that keep being that big fish in a little pond, getting all that sweet college ass.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, listen, you're a big fish in a little pond. But I thought last night, the one thing I'm really grateful for is I didn't have to see Michael Irvin hit something with his belt.
I know. Oh, I just, just to see his face at the end of that game, and it's just poor Michael Irvin.
What's funny is just when I was starting to kind of like Michael Irvin a little bit,
I know.
I was like right there with being like, you know what, Michael Irvin, I like him. He's starting, and you're like, oh, fuck.
And here we go.
Maybe
back
not.
To the old, yeah.
I even saw Saturday an SNL skit, Saturday Night Live skit, when a guy came and did Michael Irvin. It was actually ironically funny because SNL hasn't been funny for years, but they did a really funny job on the skit. It was pretty comical. But yeah, I saw another meme. It was like, who's the quarterback's name? Beck? Is that his name? Beck.
Carson Beck. Yeah, something like that. Beck.
Yeah. They said he was having a great game, and then he spoke to Ray Lewis and went out and threw an interception.
Yeah. That's great. I mean, but I'll give it to Miami, man. They protected their quarterback. Whoa. I don't think Indiana touched him, but just a couple of times. I mean, he had all the time in the world to throw.
Kevin, I gotta tell you though, when I watched that, I carefully watched the line when I was watching it. Dude, they were mugging the line. I mean, I was actually shocked that they didn't have more holding penalties. They let him play. I'll give him that. They let him play, and even what's his face from Indiana took a nice shot under the chin. You know me, I'm a defensive guy. I love that kind of stuff. But in the real rules of what's going on, Mendoza got popped. He was bleeding. That should have been a targeting.
Yeah.
I just think they let him. I honestly, I thought the whole game, I really do believe they let him play pretty tough. They let a lot go in the trenches. They let a lot go in the secondary. It was a good physical game, and I'll give Miami for being 11 and they ended up being 13-3, 3 losses, and to be that fucking good. I was impressed with it. I really was. I think Indiana stepped up. I think they've been playing tough teams, between Ohio State, Oregon, probably not that big of a tough of a game for them. But still a quality organization. They came in, and I think Miami had a really good plan. They executed the plan well, and people can say that I've seen things about Mendoza's not a great quarterback. All the real Mendoza came out against Miami, and I'm like, he won. He fucking won, dude.
Yeah,
he won.
He won. He won the game.
He won the game.
Yeah,
I mean, say what you want, have your freaking haterade, whatever you want to drink, but at the end of the day, they did what they had to do to win, and he made the clutch passes and used his feet when he had to. Great game. I thought he played well, especially with being rushed as much as he was, and with them allowing the secondary to have that much physicality.
Yeah, I'm just glad the Big Ten won it three years in a row now. So
was that Big Ten? Yeah,
Big Ten three years in a row.
Yeah.
So
and that coach is boy, I had a laugh, right? So I was watching on ESPN, and then I switched over, and he got ESPN2 has Pat McAfee has his show, and they announced the game.
Yeah,
1,000% better.
Oh yeah. I've listened to a couple of when I couldn't find something on, and I just scrolling and I find him, and he's some people don't like him. He's can be obnoxious sometimes, but he knows the fucking game. Well, he played, but yeah, he knows football.
He's a smart dude. He's a very smart football mind. He's comical. He's crazy. He's from Pittsburgh, you know, so he was really there. It was a very Pittsburgh heavy accent, Oh, there he is, another first down.
And I didn't know that the coach from Miami played high school football with Mendoza's dad.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They played on the same high school football team. And they were so mad that Miami didn't recruit Mendoza that I guess when they were saying something like when the daughter, like his sister, went to to go to college, they refused to let her play or go to Miami just because they passed up the son, because they only live they said 2 miles away.
Yeah, they went there. No, you're not good enough. Bye.
Yeah. So the family still lives right by the stadium.
I'll see you in 5 years. I'll see you in 5 years when I beat you for the national championship, and then also fucking take home the Heisman Trophy. That's That's a great FU story if you ever want to freaking have one. That is
it is
awesome. But I know the coach from Indiana, he's from Pittsburgh.
Oh, is he? Oh, okay.
Yeah, he coached at IUP, Indiana University of Pennsylvania, out in Pittsburgh.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's a Yinzer too. So I was laughing my ass off last night when Pat. Who was he talking to? Guy from what's his name? Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban's from Pittsburgh.
Oh. I thought he was a Texas boy. I always thought, I always thought he was.
He's from Pittsburgh, and he went to Indiana. So he was. At
that's right. That. Yeah, you're right. I did know that he went to Indiana. Yeah.
Yeah. So him and McAfee were going back and forth last night. They're like, "You're a Yinzer?" He's like, "Yeah." He goes, "I was born at McGee's Women's Hospital." He goes, "So was I." And I was dying laughing listening to those guys freaking go on and on. But he's originally from Pittsburgh. He's a burger. He's a Yinzer.
Yeah, Cuban. He's out now. I think he only owns a minority stake in the or if anything at all left in the basketball team.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think he's sold out. I think he sold his stake in the Mavericks.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that. I know he's always on Shark Tank and.
I think this is his last season. I don't know if he's coming back. That's what I heard.
It says here that he no longer primarily owns the Dallas Mavericks. He sold the majority stake to the Adelson family. in late
today?
2023 for $3.5 billion.
Yeah, he made a killing because he got that team at a discount.
And he still has 27% minority stake, so he has a significant minority stake.
Yeah, I didn't know the Adelsons bought it, so there's a
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was listening to an interview that he had done.
Yeah, in 2000 he bought him for $285 million.
Yeah, I remember it was from I think from the old lady or something that owned it or something. You know, I forget the story, but yeah, he got it at a steal. You know,
and then he bought it from H. Ross Perot Jr.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought he bought it from like a Marge Shahan or something, not her, but you know, something like, you know, but
Marge.
I didn't know H. Ross Perot Jr. owned the Mavericks, but yeah. So I mean, so a hell of a return on his investment, plus all the money he has made, you know, over the years, you know, and just God, yeah, and just using, yeah,
can you
just
imagine
using that yeah.
And you're still minority owner. You got $3.5 billion, and you still own 27% of the organization.
Yeah, yeah. How crazy is that?
Your 27% of what you own is probably worth the amount of money you paid for it originally, and you made it $3.5 billion.
Yeah, you know, and he probably only kept a small stake just so he can get like free tickets and courtside seats and whatever he wants.
Tickets and make all sorts of crazy marketing deals like he does on the Shark Tank. You know what I mean? He's always I mean, I don't know. The guy's a bit of a douche, but he's obviously a pretty smart and freaking well off douche. But
yeah, I'll watch him on one interview and I'm like, God, what a douche. And then the next one, I'm like, oh man, I love that guy. You know,
yeah.
And then, he's back to being a douche again.
Yeah.
So
yeah. He's definitely one of those.
Yeah.
Oh man, but yeah, he's great on the Shark Tank because I've seen him a couple times. Like, it's like folks don't realize. I saw the one deal he's trying to make with somebody, and the guy was talking about how they could market it to all these basketball teams. He's just like, "Hey, idiot, I'm out." He's like, "Why?" He goes, "I own the fucking Mavericks. Like, you're gonna sell to my competition? Like, this is your pitch to me?"
Yeah.
What the fuck? Are you stupid? Did you not do any type of freaking research before you walked in here? What rock do you live under?
That's it. So speaking of Kevin O'Leary, I actually just downloaded his app. What is his new app called? Beanstox, BEANSTOX.
Mm-hmm.
So and started I threw a couple $100 into that, and then got a direct deposit going each week. See if Kevin O'Leary can make me some money. So
he's an interesting guy. I like him.
Yeah. He's a smart guy.
He's a common sense guy too. I love when he starts. He's definitely a common sense kind of guy. And like I love it. He'll be on the Gutfeld show. I like watching Gutfeld. I like Gutfeld. And I like what's his face, Bill Maher. I like watching those two.
Yeah,
both ends of the spectrum. Gutfeld's very conservative, but very raunchy and very more really comical and really like horribly vicious comedy. And Bill Maher is liberal, but a little bit, but he's more high end freaking comedy. A little bit highbrow comedy, but both are highly entertaining.
Yeah, I've just been watching a lot of Rogan, and I've been hooked on the Diary of a CEO. So I've a great podcast. Great show on YouTube. So yeah, it was a young cat interviews a lot of billionaires and CEOs of companies, and super informative. Rogan, I'm about halfway through the interview of him, and he's talking with Ben Affleck and Matt Damon. And they're just talking about everything. And then they're talking about the movie, The Rip. That's why we watched it the other night. That's why, I sent it to you in the chat. And great movie. Great movie.
No,
been a long time since Jessica and I like 6 times during the movie go, fuck's going on? Yeah, is that the bad guy? Is he good? Is he pretending to be? I don't know what's happening here. And then at the end, you're like, of course, that's what's happened.
Yeah, no spoiler alerts, because we decided to watch. That was our toss up. It was either that or the Black Phone 2. And Black Phone was a great movie. It's really, really good. And Black Phone 2 really, really sucked.
Yeah.
It did. It was horrible. It was like Freddy Krueger meets Jason meets freaking slapstick.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
Tracy, I'm smoking the Good Soldier from one of the Zeal Cigar house blends. Kerr, what were you smoking again?
Belladama Wild Card.
Yep, Belladama Wild Card. Right
on. But yeah, it was a bad choice on our end. Watched the season finale, season 2 of Landman. Is it 2 or 3?
Yeah.
Season. We on? Is it 3? I don't know.
I think it's just 2. Yeah.
That's
yeah.
crazy.
I know. At least now there's 2 seasons that we can watch. We haven't started it yet.
Best series I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, it eclipses Yellowstone.
Yeah.
I liked Yellowstone. I think the only series that I've watched that I think is up there with it is I really liked this was they're supposed to come out for season 2, but I like Task, even though Mark Ruffalo's a fucking nut job. Task was a great series. It was well written, well acted, well done. And I like The Mayor of Kingston with Jeremy Renner. That's another great series. But yeah.
I know you're a series person. So is Jen. So is Jessica. I'm not a series person. I don't want to have to wait for the next show. I don't want to worry about, after 2 or 3 seasons of something getting good and they cancel it. And then now I just wonder what happened to my characters. That's I'm a book guy too. That's why I'm reading books. So
we've had that a couple of times. We actually watched the new Running Man movie.
Oh, that's on our list.
It's good.
Yeah. Everybody said it was really good.
The reviews I saw talked about how bad it sucked, and I was like, I thought the movie was freaking really good.
Oh, I only saw good reviews of it.
Did you? Yeah, I was a fan. I thought it was done really well. They said it was actually probably obviously the first one with Arnold Schwarzenegger, but they said it was close to the book.
Yeah,
and we watched The Long Walk.
Yeah, I know. I didn't. I look back on it now. I mean, after it was done, I wasn't a fan of it. But I look back, I'm like, it wasn't a bad movie. I don't. Yeah.
I mean, I think they kept you engaged for it being a fucking movie about people just walking.
Oh yeah. It definitely, it definitely kept you engaged. It didn't, you didn't feel like it was, like they were walking. You just kind of lost track of that because there's kind of, stuff always happening. But then some of those people that are in it, you're like, why did you sign up for this? There was no way you were going to make it.
Yeah, well, listen, dude, it's dystopian future. They're desperate.
Yeah.
His and Her on Netflix, Jennifer, that's another one that keeps you guessing. That's a series. And I like the limited series too. Like you said, if I'm going to do something, if you put together a 5-7 part series or whatever, I'm just ranging, Jen. I'm not being specific. I got my crowd right here. If it's a limited mini, that's perfect for me. I like watching that because it's end to end. Like you said, I don't have to worry about a season 2. I don't have to worry about waiting for the next season. But that was really good. That was fantastic.
You got your CNN fact checkers sitting in front of you.
I do have my CNN fact checker. That's
yeah.
Jennifer's in there fact checking me. It's 6 episodes, Carrie, not 5 to 7. Well, 6 would be in between. But yeah, that was I mean, there's been some good series we've been watching, but You know, I get what you mean when it comes to series, because now when our series ends, we just kind of look like zombies flipping through the channels going, we have nothing to watch now. You know, we got to wait for this next series to come on, because now
Yeah.
that Landman's over, we may see freaking season one or episode one, season three in 2027 now. I mean, because they take so long, you know, where, you know, what it was, the series before, it was always freaking, there was the spring and the fall, the spring and the fall, the spring and the fall. You
Yeah.
know, you had the summer off, you know, and then, you know, you had to wait till next year. Now it's like freaking, you know, you got to wait several years before the next series is released, because, you know, they're freaking movie production quality with some of these
Oh
series.
yeah. Yeah, it reminds me of the one meme that everyone's like, "Hey, do you want to watch a 7-hour movie?" No. What if I break it up into 1-hour chunks and let you watch it back to back to back to back?
I'm
I'm
in.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in. Yeah,
Yep. Yeah, that's me. It's like, what the
because
hell?
that's what they are. I mean,
Yeah.
it really is like it's a 6, 7, 8-hour movie. You know, you're talking about production value.
Yeah, and if you're like, listen, I'm gonna sit down today and I'm gonna rip through this series today because I got nothing
Yeah.
going on a Saturday, and you're like, okay, like you said, you're gonna watch a fucking 7-hour movie,
Yeah,
you know.
that's it.
But yeah, I mean, we've started back up on the Pit, which season one was really good. It's kind of like ER meets 24. So
Yeah,
they do an emergency room, and they every hour show is the you know, from 7 to 8, 8 to 9, like through, and then the whole series is, it's a 12-hour shift, so they got 12 episodes, much like, you know, 24 did with 24 episodes. And season one was great. Season two, it's getting a little
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I saw that one of the the preview about the wind generator. I think that's what got me wanting to watch that show. You know, like they clipped that out and put that on the different socials.
Yeah, you don't want to use oil. You know, it's petroleum.
Yeah.
When he rips her, you might want to get rid of your shoes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Everything.
If there's
Oils.
any money in wind generators, you know, Sunoco would freaking be planting them all over the place. Oh yeah, his some of his rants are just freaking priceless.
Yeah, you know, it was you know, talking about that, you know, people will come in and ask us at the shop, "Hey, do you do the nitrogen refill for the tires?" I'm like, no, we don't. I'm like, "Oh, I'll have to go somewhere else." And I always go, and if they ask me, I go, "You know, it's a scam, right?" No, it really helps. And I go, "Listen, if it helped you get better fuel economy, or if it affected your tires at all, don't you think they'd put that in from the factory? Like every manufacturer would use nitrogen, but
Yeah.
no, they don't. It's a scam, you know." So some people will be like, "Really?" And then I always do this. I go, 78% nitrogen right there. Every breath you take, 78%. You know, so
That's funny. I never heard of that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, the we're sitting around now waiting for a couple of movies to be released, a couple of extra series, and really that's it. You know, just we're supposed to get snow this weekend.
Are you?
And ice, yeah.
Man, we had some ice. My sister lives in the Panhandle of Florida, so she got snow. She lives up near Defuniak Springs.
Yeah, never heard of
it. Yeah, never heard of it. So she lives about 20 minutes outside there. So they got pretty heavy, not heavy for Florida. I mean, they always get like every few years they'll get flurries, because I said, you know, they're in a fucking different time zone. They're not even in Florida. We always joke. But yeah, they got some good snow. We got ice down here. Jessica went out the other morning to take kids to school, and the windshield was all iced up.
Man, yeah, we're supposed to get. It was in the 20s today. It was pretty fucking cold, you know. It's when we start off in the 20s and it gets up in the 40s or 50s, that's one thing. But when it stays pretty freaking in the 30s and shit, it's pretty cold. But we're supposedly set to get ice and snow this weekend, 3 to 5 inches.
We're expecting over an inch of ice.
Over an inch of ice. I got my
Yeah.
freaking fact checker weather woman over there.
That's it. That's it. Foretold doom in the future when we don't have the next energy source figured out. We got a couple hundred years of oil still.
Yeah,
so
we're good.
We got some time. No, it's nuclear. We're finally gonna get off our ass and finally just do nuclear. But it didn't make a difference. We got the aliens coming next year, so they're gonna give us that 0 point energy.
I was gonna ask you if you watched the new documentary.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forget what it was called, but I thought Jeremy, the Jeremy guy, did it, but it was someone else that did it. But it was.
I'm wondering, like, it seems like they've been putting off this UFO thing now for a couple of years, right?
It's supposed to be. Lou Elizondo said 2025, and now they're pushing it back to 26. Oh, which is this year. Oh yeah, it's this year.
Is it this year?
Yeah, it's this year. The aliens have their mandate. Either tell the people of Earth about us, or we're gonna essentially land on the White House lawn, Buckingham Palace grounds, and we're just gonna come down, and that's gonna be it. So they have a mandate for this year. Just doing it.
Yeah, I'm gonna be interested. I really enjoyed the documentary. I can't remember the name of it is either.
Did that disclosure something in it? Yeah.
A lot of it was stuff I'd already seen or already knew.
Yeah.
I really, really liked how they organized it. They laid it out. And I really found that their explanation and diving in deep into technology the most interesting.
Yeah.
You know, like you said, zero negative,
0 point energy. Yeah.
0 point energy, creating the gravity and the around the ship. That's the reason why you see the bubbles. It's the reason why they can pass through water and air without resistance. It's why they can, position, because they're actually changing space time within their own that own little sphere. I found that part really, really, really interesting, because it was nobody has an answer for it, and then that really was like, okay, well, that's starting to make some sense.
Yeah, and they say, really, until there is a full and unconditional pardon of all of these companies that are keeping these secrets from us, that are keeping the product, that the government has retrieved and given. Because when you give them to Lockheed Martin, when you give them to all these companies, they don't have to report to to anybody.
Right.
There's no FOIA. There's no any of that. So, but keeping that stuff from the public and keeping it can be considered felonies, and there's consequences. But until they come and say, hey, turn over everything, it unconditional pardons. Nobody's getting prosecuted. Just tell us what you have, so.
Well, it'll be, I don't know. It'll be interesting. What blows my mind, and I don't want to pivot into politics, but you have to almost laugh when you see all of this evidence of UFOs, all this, when you see congressmen and congresswomen meeting and talking about this and saying, this is real, we need this disclosure. And that's not the leading story. It's some guy holding an air pellet rifle up in freaking Minnesota. I'm like, if you would have told me when I was 18 years old, 16, 15 years old, hey, listen, what's going to happen is you're going to go through life when you turn all this UFO stuff and all these crazy ET movies, it's all going to be true. And you are going to have so much attention to so much proof sources that even the government is going to be pushing for there to be a full disclosure, and you're not going to see any of it on the news.
Yeah.
I say bullshit. I seen V when they landed and the aliens came out and the freaking reptilians. I seen it. You can't tell me. No. Well, what's going to lead? Oh, it's going to be, with the government, enforcing the law. That's what they're gonna show.
I forget who I was listening to, and there's like, why didn't more people in the government say anything or leak anything? And they're like, there's probably only 3 people in the entire government that know anything about these alien stuff. And he goes, and these are career government officials that will take it to the grave.
Yeah,
like, these aren't your guys that are gonna leak this stuff to WikiLeaks or anything else. Like these aren't those people you see about in the news. He goes, these are people they don't even make movies about. These are people that are just that they know, and they keep it from they keep it from their families. They keep it from even their own departments. They keep it from the president. So
it was amazing how they actually laid out, everyone's like, oh, the government's got to know. They're like, well, listen, think about this. Let's go back to the 40s. All these people knew. And then, these people die. These people get voted out. And then someone else comes in. They don't know. And they actually showed over the years and the decades of how you layer that out till you get to the point, like you said, where there's maybe a handful of people that know exactly what's up. All the other government officials have been, voted in and out and in and out and in and out. And they're not getting a freaking dossier of the UFOs sightings that are going on in freaking Florida. The governors aren't. They're in and out. So over the decades, just by the election process, you've been able to naturally bury this story. Bury, people make fun because I say bury, but you were able to naturally bury the story through the election process while you still have a number of unelected officials still in their roles.
That's it. Hey, what's Tom do down there in the office down the hall? I don't know. He's been here like 40 years. Nobody really knows what he does. But he just gets paid. I was like, he's not. He doesn't. He's, like I said, not an elected official, not someone that the president can just fire.
Probably doesn't have a real big major title like, oh, Tom's he's a supervisor of new technology. I don't know. He kind of he's a paper pusher. Yeah. He's been around for a while. He'll probably be retiring soon. No, Tom was hanging out with aliens last night. He's not going anywhere, and nobody can get rid of him. No. I guarantee if you fuck with Tom, you probably would end up in a freaking river somewhere.
Yeah.
But
that's it. So
it always kind of cracks me up that we are, I think, we were talking about, earlier the top 10 most influential inventions that over since in your lifetime, but I also think about what are some of the biggest news stories in your lifetime, and what do you think would be the biggest news story ever, and I think outside of the confirmation of God and or of a religious figure being true, like me, I'm a Christian. It would be like someone saying, hey, here's Jesus. He was real and true. And, we know he's real. I mean, saying that, he's really God, son of God, etc.
Yeah. The Messiah. Yeah.
If he came, but I'm saying outside of that, the only other, I even think you could take your Bigfoots, you could take your Loch Ness monsters, you could take your freaking whatever, you could throw them all out the window. I think the proof of life outside of this earth, if you will, and some folks don't believe that they are from another planet. They believe that they're actually us. But that technology and life elsewhere would be the biggest news ever.
Yeah, it would change everything,
And it's still on page 5.
Yeah, I know. What excites me most about the aliens is not really the technology that they would bring to us. Obviously, if an alien spaceship landed on the White House lawn tomorrow, Buckingham Palace grounds tomorrow, and it's like, hey, we're real. We want to give you some of this energy. We want to make clean up this Earth, this planet that you're polluting. For me, it would be like I want to know what they know. Because obviously, I think they've been here for tens of thousands of years, if not hundreds of thousands of years, and I want their hard drive. They would be able to potentially answer the questions of how did they build the pyramids? What happened to the Mayan civilization? How did all of this, become? Do they have, are they taking videos over the last 100,000 years of Earth? Do they have videos of what dinosaurs really looked like? How they really sounded?
Hey, did y'all get any Polaroids of?
So that's what excites me. That's what excites me the most is them being able to clue us in on our own history, so we don't have to piece it together. Like, we don't know what color dinosaurs really were. Were they all like, in Jurassic Park gray, or were they multicolored? And did the T-Rex really have feathers or anything else? So, but yeah, just going all throughout history. And do they have like photos, videos? Can they tell? How cool would that be to they have the pyramids? Oh, let's just pull that up. Here's how they were actually built. And
then you'd be like, listen, is that AI? Is that real?
Yeah. The ant people from Zeta Reticuli, they're actually the ones that built the pyramids. Check it out.
They're bored one day.
Yeah, here's how they did it. So that's what excites me the most. Not the technology that they could bring, but just the knowledge of our own history.
That would be cool. I actually would just want to take a ride. I'd be like, listen, just take me to Pluto. Like, I want to see or Saturn. I want to see Saturn's rings up close. Like, and then take me home.
Yeah.
You guys want to probe me? Fine. Take me to Saturn, probe away. I'm cool with that. But I definitely want to see Saturn's moons. I think that's worth a butt probe to be able to
probe me
see
afterwards. Like, I don't want to I don't want to be like, just you can probe me afterwards.
Exactly.
Let me enjoy the ride and the view.
Yeah.
But
exactly. It's like, listen, let me then afterwards on the way back.
Yeah.
Way back's perfectly fine. But yeah, I mean, I think that would be, I hear what you're saying is to have some of those questions answered, but knowing our luck, you'd be like, you have a question for the aliens. Yes. Who built the pyramids? I don't know, man. We just got here.
Yeah. I really don't know. We
haven't watched you idiots for 100,000 years. I mean, we were just flying by. We saw that there was freaking life, and we just stopped by to say what's up. And
just a pit stop. Yeah,
pit stop.
Yeah.
I mean, no, I don't know. What are pyramids? Those things? I don't know. They look pretty cool.
Actually, the video will be like, it'll just be like the people building them, and they had like really the sand ramps, and it was just a bunch of people pushing it. And I'm like, well, that was anticlimactic.
Yeah.
That sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did they put us here on Earth? Of course they did. It was the microbes from panspermia. The seeds. Seeded life from other planets, and then they intervened on the monkeys, and here we go.
So you're in that Y files. You believe in the what were the names of the
Anunnaki?
The Anunnakis. You believe in the Anunnaki? Hell, they actually kind of the Prometheus, the one of the alien prequels that was based off of that. How Earth came to be. It was basically from these aliens. These very tall, ripped aliens that were pretty much looked like freaking what they would be the Anunnaki, big dudes, But
that's it.
I don't know, man. It is pretty interesting, and I still think I like Trump keeps talking about wanting to go to Greenland. You know what? I would just like him just to take a whole SEAL team and go to the pyramids so they can actually look and see what's under the Sphinx in the pyramids.
Yeah, not even that.
I'll be like, listen, Greenland, just do that. Let's see what's under there, because that's pretty.
Until Zahi Hawass, he gets dementia and finally stops putting his finger on everything. We're never gonna know. They have that other that other underground thing, and I forget what it is. Like going back, hundreds of years, that them talking about it, like Pliny the Elder and Pliny the Younger, talking about the underground room they have under there with thousands of rooms, and we know it's there. We know exactly where it is. We have found it.
Oh, the courtyard, the different levels, right?
Yeah, the different levels. So we found it. We know exactly where it's at.
Yeah.
We found it. But yeah, so then now they're doing that radar thing, and now there's like a giant object in the middle of like this
big
giant
circular
room.
object. Yeah.
So it's I've been more podcasts with those guys that are doing that technology that are talking about that on a couple different shows.
Well, the stories that they say is the first level were always kind of the priests were usually, or whatever, the high priest, whatever you want to call them, kind of allowed people to see the top level. The top level was kind of like where they had the library and where they had all these different stuff, and then you went down to the second level, which was forbidden, and then you got down to the bottom level, which is where you're talking about, where this big metal sphere is supposed to be, and they believe. I mean, that, and I would like Trump to take SEAL Team 6 and go into the basement of the Vatican as well, because I know they got some shit down there too.
They got the they got the TV that views the past.
Oh yeah, those Catholics are a little shady. I think they got the Ark of the Covenant down there. I don't think it's in Ethiopia. I know you do. I think they got the Ark down there. I think they got the freaking cross. They got the nails. They got the spear. They got all that stuff down there.
Yeah, they definitely have a lot, But no, we want Greenland. And then I watched a video the other day, and it was
I got better plans. I want Greenland.
Yeah, that was Tracy. I was just going to bring that up. I watched a video over that, and we were probably talking about the same, the video. And the guy wasn't like one way or the other. He wasn't saying, he's like, let's give you a breakdown of the U.S. and Greenland. Like, we've been trying to buy that for 100 years.
Yeah,
and it's just like, and some of the deals fell through, and it's just. Yeah, this isn't anything new. And then I'm like, I didn't know. So I had to look up, after that, I did just a little Google researching, after that. And I'm like, yeah, like we've always wanted that.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it's a major point between the UK, like Russia, UK, and the United States.
Yeah. I think that same video. So one time we were in talks to get Greenland, Iceland, and Ireland, I think is what it said. I can't remember now, but yeah,
because England keeps all their nukes in that one area up there in Ireland, UK or whatever, and they talk about when you take a look at where the US, you have Canada, obviously, or you have Alaska, which again, another very important.
Which we bought,
which we bought, and everybody's like, why the hell would you buy Alaska? Why wouldn't we? Take a look at it. The only thing between us and the Russians were Canadians. We definitely want to, so it's strategery, as Bush would say. And that's why you said I've seen the same thing, and I've known when they're like, you're trying to buy Greenland. This is so stupid. How stupid is? And I'm like, dude, this isn't new. It's not new.
Yeah, there's only my town that I live in, has 96,000 residents, almost twice the amount of residents than all of Greenland. So all we have to do is literally just pay for Greenland, just have the residents vote out, and it is a welfare country. Denmark pays for everything. Like I said, I don't think that so, but yeah, we could just pay for them. Yeah, just give them each $1 million. Give them each $10 million, and we still have nothing into it. No. And they'd be set for life. I guarantee. I don't say I guarantee, but there's a pretty good chance that if you gave all 47,000 residents of Greenland $10 million, every single one of them would bounce. They'd be like, "We're out. Mm-hmm. We're going somewhere else. You can have everything. We're going somewhere warmer. We're going somewhere else." Yeah. And they're like, you can just, it's all yours.
I'm making a stand. I'm not leaving my country. How much is that? Okay, great. I would like to have lived in Montana.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get that flexibility and the willingness to move happens pretty quickly at that point. But it's funny how they, when you portray things,
Yeah.
it's like you said, it's buying Greenland is not the first rodeo, guys. It's
Yeah.
not. And everyone's trying to make it seem like it's this ridiculous, stupid Trumpism. It's like, well, freaking look back in history, man. And you take a look at how the geopolitical forces are in the countries and positioning, and it's a very, very important strategic move. It just is. I mean, objectively, it just is when you look at a map. Um, it's that's why I said, when you see these things about Greenland, or all these freaking complaining about ice and stuff like that, and I'm like, dude, aliens exist.
Yeah.
Like, what? Aliens exist. The grays and the ships, like, we're on the cusp of learning and seeing one. We're that close, this close to, like, Signs, the movie Signs.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Swing away.
Yeah, and you're worried about this stuff, like, for real? Like, it's and it just blows my mind. Or the guy who's the head of immigration, Tom Homan. You ever see him?
I think I've seen about every interview he's done in the last year or two.
Yeah. You know who else he worked for?
Who's that?
President Obama.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's been like for 40 years. I saw his a couple interviews where he talks about his whole
everything he's doing now.
Yeah.
He did the same thing for President Obama.
Yeah.
Same
and he got more people out then.
Yeah. Same
He,
thing, more people.
Yeah, I was watching and it's been making its rounds, so I'm sure everybody has seen it. From like NBC or CNN. It's like they're like the mid or the early morning raids they were setting up, and we're gonna catch them before they go to work. And yeah.
I loved how it started off though, because it was like the sun rises. It's like you can hear the birds chirping. They're like, we're here on a Wednesday morning, early. And we're with agents from ICE, and they're about ready to execute a raid that will capture what they believe to be 20 illegal. And then I'm sitting there. It's like this freaking, Hallmark freaking movie intro of what they're doing, and it's just too comical. But yeah, it's like I said, I don't talk politics to many people, because when you know that kind of stuff, and you hear the constant beating of this like, I can't have a conversation with you if that's the case. If you really believe that this Greenland thing is that stupid and harebrained and how crazy it is, you've been trying to buy it for 100 years. It's a strategic freaking move. And if you are saying about the deportation, Tom Homan's a no good son of a bitch. Well, guess who he used to work for, and guess how many people he deported back in 2013 and 2012. So I just stop talking and let's pivot and talk about aliens.
I know.
Talk about aliens.
I thought the whole ICE thing would run its course by now. The 2-week news cycle. We're hanging on to that, and I'm ready for a new news cycle of something else, but nothing else. I thought the Somali thing. I thought that was going to go a little longer than it did. That was that's been a whole shit. The Somali and the Somalians and the daycare centers. That one lady that said on the she froze up when she was talking. She goes, "Yes, we know a fraud is bad," and then she's just like, and then she never recovered. It's like, oh, you said the quiet part out loud.
Yeah, it's funny. Who was I watching? Was it Norm Macdonald?
No, he's dead.
Yeah, he's been dead for a while. They were talking about, like, how are you gonna, kids in the future, like in 20 years from now, when they're like, hey, there's this guy, Elon Musk, and he was this crazy freaking billionaire who freaking built rocket ships and electric cars, and he was loved and he was revered because he made these electric cars and they were freaking good for the environment, and the liberals, they loved them. They, yes. And then what happened? Oh, then he started this company, this division called Doge, which found all this misuse of taxpayers' money, and it all got returned, and he stopped it. Oh, they love him more? No, they hated him.
Yeah,
and then,
yeah.
and then what? And then they started to burn down his they started burning his cars in a dealership. You mean the cars that they liked? Yeah, those. And then what? And then nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. He's been pretty quiet, lately. So I know hopefully you get that big rocket. And then I see NASA and their stupid SLS, the Space Launch System, the new Artemis rocket. They're getting ready to launch that fucking catastrophe. Every time they launch one, every single time that motherfucker goes up in the air, they say it's $4 billion. $4 billion. Elon Musk is sending shit up in the air for $23 million. And NASA hates it. NASA wants to scrap this whole fucking mission and give it to Elon and Jeff Bezos. But the congressmen or senators from Louisiana put that in a bill, a number of years ago, that they have to keep funding that stupid program that is way over budget.
Yeah. What happens? What happens with your boosters? Oh, well, they just fall to Earth. And then they
we just got to keep building new ones.
Building new ones. What does Elon's do? They kind of land on their own.
Yeah, they come back. And why aren't we doing that? We can't do that. There are people in Louisiana that need them jobs. So it's absolutely insane. The amount of waste that whole fucking program is generating. And then Ted Cruz picking a fight with NASA or the Smithsonian about bringing the space shuttle, because that was in the big beautiful bill that they allocated $20 million to bring the space shuttle from the Smithsonian to Texas. And the Smithsonian basically just like, hey, fuck off, bro. We own it.
Yeah.
Like NASA doesn't own this anymore. Like, it's ours. Like, you can't just repossess something that's not yours. And then they're saying like $23 million to move it. Like, it's $1 billion move. Yeah, we gotta cut it in like 20 pieces and then move it. And it's gonna be like $1 billion.
Just leave it where it is. Don't spend our money to move a fucking ship from freaking Smithsonian to fucking Texas because you want it that way.
Yeah, I know. So now they're in talks of trading something else. Like, hey, we'll send you this instead of the space shuttle because we need it in one piece just in case. But yeah,
just in case what? This isn't freaking. It's not going to be like a Tom or a Bruce Willis movie where they have the new ships made, and then all of a sudden the only hope is an old, busted up Smithsonian freaking space shuttle.
Yeah, but at least they'll say we'll at least know how they did it, But I don't know because we can't build the Saturn V anymore. We lost the ability to build that, because everybody was writing that shit down, just writing it down in notes and then throwing it away at the end of the day. Each one was hand built. So I just love the rockets. I recently saw another picture of Elon's whatever the rockets that go, it's like 30 of them, on that big booster, and like the progression that he's gone through the years. And now it doesn't even, had all these lines and hoses and wiring and all these contraptions. And now it has like no moving parts. It's like a stripped down bare bones, but it's more powerful. And it's just like, God, that guy's a fucking genius.
Do you think he was issued some alien technology, or do you think he's just an alien?
I don't think he knows because I did see an interview where he talked about aliens and whether he's ever been, let in on that. And he said, he goes, do you think if they let me in on any alien technology, I would still be lighting fuel on fire and pushing a rocket out of Earth's atmosphere? And he goes, no, I wouldn't, so, but which makes sense,
Sounds like a really good front towards from someone who's doing it in the background.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know.
Yeah,
he's definitely an alien though. I don't know. He's him and Zuck are part of the lizard people.
Yeah, Zuckerberg.
What are you lighting up, Kerr?
Oh, Big Tony.
Oh, Big Tony. I'm going to light up another one myself. This one, the Faithful Servant from Zeal.
Yeah, the oh man. Yeah, Elon Musk is most definitely he's that dude's there's smart and then there's just
I mean
he's being that smart and then having the money too is crazy.
Yeah, he taught himself rocket surgery. So by reading books, and then it was just the pivot. I remember him and they show it. When there was a guy from I think it's I don't know if it's Jerry Rigs Everything or one of the popular YouTube channels that does technology. Elon was giving him a tour, of the factory of the complex, and the big rockets in the back. I mean, just massive, and talking about like cold staging and then or the hot staging section 1 or something and whatever. And then the YouTuber's like, well, why don't you just do that on like the second stage or something, and like it wouldn't be that hard. And he's like, and he goes, he just stops talking. And he goes, yeah, it wouldn't be that hard. He goes, we're gonna do that, and then the next year, like he put that, he just made the decision. They're gonna change the way the rocket is designed because someone had mentioned it.
Yeah,
that's not how NASA does shit. You mentioned, like, hey, why don't you do it this way? Well, listen here, Carrie.
Yeah,
we've got some people in that building over there that are way above your pay grade, and if that was a good idea, they would have thought about it, or thought of it, and that's why we're doing it, But since we're not doing it that way, there's a reason. So,
yeah, some people are like that. It's actually pretty pathetic when you see folks like that. But I remember watching this clip about how when you take a look at what our plans are for the future, and Elon Musk is talking about going to Mars. I've seen he claims he doesn't think that there's life on other planets. He doesn't believe in aliens. Musk, he didn't think that there's aliens.
I didn't know he didn't believe that.
Yeah, I'm about 90% sure I saw him. He doesn't believe there's aliens. But when you talk about his what he does for his he's doing these rockets. They're freaking come back. I mean, everything he's doing there is crazy. He's building robots. He has electric vehicles, and he owns a boring company. They said he is literally getting ready to go up and start doing work on on Mars. Who's going to do it? Your robots. They're going to use electrical freaking vehicles. They're going to use this boring equipment.
Yeah, I watched was it Neil deGrasse Tyson that was talking about that? Because he is not a fan of Elon Musk at all. But yeah, he's like, if you were going to colonize another planet, here's what you would need. You would need, to build tunnels underground to shield yourself from radiation. You would need, robots, to do all the work to get it, ready for people. You need obviously the rockets to get there. And it's like, who has all of that? Who's been perfecting all of that? Electric vehicles, and he goes that, Elon Musk is, like he's got it all. Yeah. He's figuring it out. So I think, while we're thinking, 10 years in the future at best, he's 100 years in the future. He's already thinking about all of this.
Yeah. He's like, what? He talks about how the the best time to actually launch for Mars based off of our rotation and where we are, the alignment is
Yeah.
as soon as we would launch, it would kind of like allow us to just go, and the trajectory would be perfect to hit Mars, and would cut down on the amount of time it takes. What is it, like a 6-month flight?
9 months, I believe. Yeah.
Is it 9 months? Yeah. So,
Yeah.
it's again, this is the stuff that's out there, which you can find on YouTube. Like, when we look at, you're not going to find on your everyday news. You gotta really kind of dig up things. I like watching the Y files and some other videos as well. I mean,
Yeah.
it's and when you do your search and you really kind of, get into the groove on the amount of time and or is it serious or not, you'll find that the right YouTubers, the right podcasts that really do have believable and factual information, just not some ridiculous bullshit.
Yeah.
Oh, there.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
So listen, I have to take a quick pee break.
Okay.
Keep talking for a second.
All right, I'll keep talking. So Kevin was talking about the amount of time it's going to take to get to Mars. I removed myself, which was kind of silly. Why would I do that? So a manned mission to Mars does take about 6 to 9 months one way with our current abilities. They said that it is powerful, as I mentioned before. If we do any type of nuclear propulsions, it could shorten that by half, 3 to 4 months. But it also deals with that orbital alignment with Earth and Mars, because they're constantly moving. There's a window that happens every 26 months that is ideal for that that launch. So, I could see a human mission to Mars within the next couple of years. I think, personally. I think they're looking at making that trip. More importantly, I think they're also look at those videos on the internet. You look up things, but in the pictures, and they're finding a little bit more and more suspicious things on Mars. But I most definitely think that we're on our way there. So, Kevin's back from the bathroom.
I just by my truck.
I was just breaking down kind of, I think that will be, the next couple of years, but talking a little bit more about that 6 to 9 months. They said if we did use nuclear propulsions or some advanced rockets like from SpaceX, it could shorten it by 3 to 4 months. That orbital alignment I was talking about before, about Earth and Mars, that alignment, that window roughly occurs every 26 months.
Oh, okay.
So every 26 months is a perfect orbital alignment where it actually allows you to do a 6 to 9, month, or maybe even 3 to 4 month. Because back to your point, I mean, I think the energy source that has been not really used here in the U.S. because of 3 Mile Island and more importantly the China Syndrome movie is nuclear.
It's gonna, we're gonna start building smaller ones. They're putting Microsoft is still gonna bring 3 Mile Island. They want to bring it back online to for these data centers, and they got to figure out these data centers, because they are putting a hurt on local economies and local power bills, because they're coming in and they're tapping into the grid. They're having to upgrade the grid, and all these costs are getting passed on to the consumers. In the areas around these data centers, where people are seeing their rates double and triple. And luckily here in Florida, we have a Florida Power and Light. They can't just increase our bill. They have to go to the state of Florida, to our legislature, and be like, hey, which they just announced a small increase because they want to start burying a lot more lines. Like in my neighborhood, we have no overhead lines. Everything is buried underground. It's great. We don't have all that nonsense. So yeah, they just can't, like we saw that in Texas, was it 5 years ago, 6 years, they had that winter freeze, and then people started getting $1,000 electric bills. Yeah, it's not allowed to happen in Florida. So thankfully. But there's other states, these data centers are coming in using all this electricity, and it's absolutely insane. Except Elon, he brought in those and it was funny, he brought in those jet engines from overseas. I don't know where he bought them from. They're like in those 53-foot intermodals, and inside is literally like a jet engine from a fighter jet, and that's what's powering that. And they're like, "Hey, you need a permit to run all those." He says, yeah, no, we're only using like 2. Maybe you have like 30. Yeah, we're just using like the 2. That's our permit was for. And then the one investigative journalist went in there with like the flare. And like the heat, you saw like every one of them was working, was glowing, and they're like, and he's like, no, we just got the 2, like, hey, these are obviously running. No, they're not, and it was like, oh, okay, and they just like let it go. Oh, okay, as long as you say so, it's like no. Nuclear is getting, they want to scale it down. We've got nuclear batteries, I think the first one here in the US for like the little CRC 2032s, like the little coin cell batteries. Mm-hmm. I think that plant is coming online this year. There's already 2 plants in China that are producing the little nuclear powered, their nuclear batteries. Mm-hmm. They leave the factory charged, and they're charged forever. You don't ever need to charge them again. Like that's a thing that you can purchase them now. So they're saying, eventually within just a couple of years, your cell phone will come charged forever. That you don't, there's no such thing as plugs.
It does not give up any radiation, I take it?
The coin cell batteries, no, they're so tiny. It's like, it's a pin drop of nuclear material. I'm not 100% how they work, but like I said, they're legitly online. Like the U.S. factory is coming online this year, and but they're so tiny that these batteries. But then people's like, well, how many batteries is it going to take to have a dirty bomb? Like if they're producing these, can I buy 1 million 2032s for batteries? And is that still going to be enough? So, but
long-term plan.
Yeah, long term. But yeah, it's the technology is getting better, and nuclear is definitely the wave of the future. We've been saying that since the 40s. But it's we'll see if they can reactivate 3 Mile Island, get it, and then just get more. Right now, it takes so long. 20 years for permitting, I think is what the last I heard. Nobody wants to build a plant. Like how do you?
Because it's impossible to build a plant. Even to get the parts. I mean, I remember years ago, my dad, when they I think it was Unit 2 at 3 Mile Island, when they replaced it, they had to go to France and buy from France.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They had to. Yeah, they replaced the Unit 2 reactor, and they had to bring it in. My dad had a T-shirt that had how they brought it in on like a freaking, looked like a spaceship, like on big 18-wheeler with a real super long one. And I had a buddy of mine who was a crane operator who worked there too. I mean, they basically had to do all that shit. They bought it out outside the U.S.
Yeah.
China sent it.
Yeah, we've lost our ability to manufacture things like that. They're talking about ships, Newport News, shipyard. They need 100,000 skilled blue collar workers, 100,000, and they can't find. They're so far behind on the ships, the subs, everything else, and they just and these are high paying jobs. These are $100,000 a year plus jobs, and they can't find people to work, and it's mind boggling.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's there's like to your point. I mean, there's opportunities out there. It's just finding the folks who are A, skilled, but B, more importantly, who are motivated enough to do it. I mean,
Yeah, motivated enough. It's I mean, if paying a salary of $100,000 a year plus, which is a damn good living. When
definitely.
the median income is $52,000, you're making twice the median income. If that's not incentive enough,
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I don't know. People just don't want to. I mean, we have the same thing. Like I said, I got to start working Sundays. I got to start working 6 days a week. Because we can't find technicians. To work. Can't find guys and gals that want to come into this my industry and work. It's everybody wants to have a tech job. Everybody wants to work remote. Everybody wants all of this stuff. And like, God, where else can you come and like you can play on your phone for half the day? You can call someone some kind of slur and get away with it. And, I like the perfect job. So
maybe they need to start adding those in the job descriptions when they're trying to get people to apply.
Yeah. So it's crazy, welders and everything. And it's just the jobs right now that are future proof for at least 20 years. Like there's no robot robots are great welders. Mm-hmm. You can't get a welder or a robot to weld in a ditch in Montana for a pipeline.
Right.
That's not happening yet. Like the mechanics, the plumbers, there's no robot that's going to, electricians. These blue collar jobs really are, going to be for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Like these next generation of kids coming up, I'm talking about these 18, 19-year-old kids, like their lifetime of their careers, if they retire when they're 60, those jobs are still going to be, there.
There's still going to be a necessity. There's still going to be a need for those jobs. To your point, I just think with the generation, they're growing up with this whole different viewpoint, and all of it is very digital, very tech.
Yeah.
And they think they're going to be YouTubers, podcasters, and make a living that way. I mean, unless they can find a niche in OnlyFans, which every once in a while those clips will pop up that podcast. God, what is it called? It's pretty comical. It's always the two guys on there, and they have a couple of girls, and they always have OnlyFans models.
Oh, I don't know the name of the podcast, but I know I've watched hundreds of clips of that. I've never actually gone back and tried to find and watch like a whole podcast.
Neither have I, because I can't. My brain would explode
because of the whores they have on. The idiot. I don't want to say whores badly.
Yeah,
the idiot.
Wrong choice of word. Yeah. It's the mentality and just it's disheartening. I can't remember what the hell it's called, like Called It Everything or something like that. But when they have these folks on, it's like, how much do you make in OnlyFans? And it's like, well, I've made about $70 million over the last freaking 5 or 10 years. What was the most you ever made? Well, I made one day I made $300,000 in one day. I make about $5-6 million a year on that.
Yeah, I'm telling you right now. Jessica dies tomorrow. On Friday, I'm butt naked on OnlyFans smoking a cigar. I'm telling you right now. Without a doubt, me and Lars Teetons is starting an OnlyFans on Friday when Jessica dies on Wednesday. So
I'll tell you, man, that's those are good goals. Those are good goals.
But yeah, it just like you said, it's finding a niche. Everybody wants to do what everybody else is already doing, and then complaining that they can't make money doing it. Like in the background, I mean, you probably can't hear them. I got 5 3D printers running right now, and I'm in a bunch of 3D printer forums, for ideas and fixes and things in the industry, and all day long people are just complaining, I bought this machine and I thought I was going to make money, and I can't. Like, how do you people make money? And give me some ideas. And I always chime in, like, find a niche, find something that nobody else is doing, and just do that.
And there's a lot of folks. It's like if you get into it and you can really bang it out the first couple of years, by the time everyone catches on, you can make your money and get out.
That's it. We just last night, we got 2 monster jobs, a 200-piece order for this, a 100-piece order for this, another, manufacturer that has his own 3D printers reached out to me today. He's like, "Hey, I'm backed up. Can you do a couple jobs for me?" So right now that's what I'm printing some test pieces for him. I got to put them out in the UPS tomorrow and mail them, and it's just, it's not creating the same shit that everybody else wants to do. Like I said, everybody wants to be a podcaster, and then they start a podcast, and then they don't know. It's like back in the day, back a couple of years ago, when maybe 5 years ago, like cigar reviewers, like when Jessica and I came on 10 years ago, like there was are you catching a buzz up? Nobody wants to see that. I guarantee there's some people that want to see that, and that will pay me handsomely. We came on board 10 years ago. There were no other husband and wife, couple doing cigar reviews. It just, there was zero. Right. And we did great. We found our little niche, and then more and more people came in, and we kind of changed it, and to start trying to do something else. And then we just get people all, it seemed like every day, but it was at least once a week. Hey, I want to start a cigar review channel. I think I'd be good at it. And then those same people I'm still friends with now, and they still don't get any fucking traction because they do the same fucking thing everybody else does, and it's just like people just want to copy what everyone else is doing, and no matter what it is, and then just complain that, they want to complain. Oh, I tried, but YouTube, they're cracking down. So I'm going to give up.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. No, you were going to give up. No, nobody's going to miss you because you didn't do that well to begin with.
No.
No. Yeah.
It's called the Whatever Podcast. Is what it is.
Oh, okay.
They're pretty funny. No, you're right. And what's funny is because you started doing your reviews around the same time I started doing a show on Facebook, and back then too. I mean, for any type of real good production, it wasn't as easy as it is now.
No, you had to know, and you had no reference.
You had no reference. You had no help.
There was not a million videos on how to light your studio.
No, there was. I'll tell you,
light your area.
When we did our show, there was maybe a handful of shows on Facebook at the time. And I'll be honest, I look back on it. Some of the mistakes that I made is I did not go. I should have aggressively gone into YouTube earlier. When Duncan and I would do the show, but at the time we didn't think anything of it. It was just 2 guys Friday afternoon with our phone propped up on a freaking couple of cigar boxes in a cigar lounge talking about our week. I talked about the cigar lounges that I freaking visited, and I was doing cigar lounge reviews. Duncan talked about all the cigars that he smoked on his way to work because he had to drive like an hour and a half each way to work, and that was the show. And there was a handful on Facebook, but back then you didn't have the technology. You basically just had to do Facebook Live is what it was.
Yeah.
So you had to do Facebook Live. If someone didn't like you, or someone was pissed off at you, or someone, whatever, all they had to do was just freaking report you, and you were off like that.
Yeah.
There was no, it became it's a lot more lenient now. Plus, if you do get any type of notification, you actually can do a little bit of protesting. And back then it was nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing you can fucking do about it. And I literally, it was like a week or 2 week ban. You couldn't do shit. And then as soon as you got out of freaking Facebook prison, boom, someone would freaking report you again, and you were back in it again. And then when we kind of shifted and started, looking into different platforms, it wasn't easy. I mean, I think at the time I was using, was it OBX?
OBS.
OBS. And that was like, I had to take a freaking code. I had to freaking take the pin code or whatever, copy and put it in here. You got to make sure everything was aligned properly. And then, now it's like you got StreamYard, you got all these different platforms. I was using, I can't remember the name of the platform that I use here for Mac. But that was like another one of those, just plug and play.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah, these kids nowadays don't know how easy they have it. You
can link all these different platforms. You can have everything broadcasted all at once. Back then, if you start sharing, they'd flag you for spamming. I mean, that was 9-10 years ago.
Yeah, I remember we built this lounge off of YouTube. We made so much money, and like I said, and we got dinged so many times, and it was because I was selling cigars on YouTube. I was violating the terms of service. I know that, but they didn't care. It was, nobody got popped back then. And I mean, there was one company that we were dealing with, and they're still around, but a little smaller company. But I think in 1 year, I still have the numbers I had to go. I mean, I sold over $100,000 worth of cigars for them in 1 year. I was a huge part of their business, and they paid me well, for doing that. It's so. Yeah, I'm very thankful for my early days of YouTube. Supplemented my income, that built this lounge, and and we still do well. Because like I said, we just. We don't piss and moan and whine, and we just figure out other ways.
Yeah. And I like I said, there's some lessons learned back then. I was like, I didn't get into it. Cause I remember Bob Cigar Guy he used to come to the cigar lounge we go to. And that's when he was doing his cigar reviews. I remember Cigar Dojo was, that was just an app, just a little old app. You could download, and that was, I could say with great confidence, I know there was other folks doing it, but there was not a lot of interviewing cigar brand owners back then.
No, it was Brian Glenn's cigar obsession, and it was and it wasn't remote. Like, you had to come to his house,
right?
Well, like if you were passing through, I mean, he was like the biggest one out there. And then either passing through, or you set up an interview, and you either had to drive or fly and go to the airport. You had to go to, there's no like this, remote. Like, you had to come to his house, sit at his little table, the tiki torches, and he talked while you were on by this pool.
What's funny is back then, the only way you could have someone join you on Facebook Live was if they were using their phone. And then,
because the
little picture up top. And I remember I've had a couple people do that, but we would do interviews around cigar events at Tobacco Plus. So back then, we interviewed Felix Mesa, we interviewed Mike Bellady. We had a number of interviews that we set up with boutique brand owners at the time, because they were doing events, at the cigar lounge. So that's where we're doing our interviews. And then I did a this is before COVID, because after COVID it got popular. I did a live virtual cigar event. So we had DAV cigars, and we sold, God almighty, Kevin, there was like buy 5 get 2 free, buy this get a freaking ashtray. I had boxes just going out that night. we killed it. And it was, and I don't recall ever seeing anybody do a virtual cigar event. Most of them obviously were live at the shop. After COVID, that's when they start doing more virtual, but you have those moments like that where you're like, yeah, maybe I did kind of contribute a little bit, to the little innovative, if you will. I contribute a little bit to this online cigar community by doing this and doing that. And like you said, if you're being emulated or someone's stealing from you, it's a form of a compliment or some flattery or whatever you want to say, but after all the years, it's I love where I am right now with doing this with you, because
it's all that's what I love, just sitting around chatting. I don't want to do cigar reviews anymore. They're fucking boring because I don't watch cigar reviews ever. Even when my friends do them, I don't watch them because they suck. I don't watch a lot of live shows. I'll tune in to Ryan, Rocky Mountain. Ryan's a good interviewer. He does good, but
Ryan KMA, I watch KMA.
I like KMA because that's KMA got me wanting to do this one. Like moving away from like the interviews, and I love KMA now. It's fun. I'm going to be on February 14th, Valentine's Day.
Nice.
Very nice. But yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, I like that. I do like watching Lee Mack. I find his.
Oh reviews, I don't watch him as much as I used to, just because I just don't watch a lot of cigar content anymore. But I do every now and then. A clip will show up. He's been doing a lot more like on TikTok and Instagram. So I've been watching more and more of Lee Mack's clips. He's funny. So. If it's something like really funny, like a little clip, and then I'll go try and find that show, and watch that. But I just don't do. I like Coop, but it's I just don't watch a lot of cigar stuff. So and that's the reason why I don't put out a lot of cigar stuff, because I only put out stuff that I like doing. So
I'll pop on for some stuff, but there's some folks it's the same shit, different day kind of stuff. And like I said, I like Lee Mack just because he's funny, he's entertaining. I watch some clips there. I'll watch your your stuff, your tech tips and stuff like that, which isn't really cigar related, but it's still in that vein. It's still in that vein, or if you got like I've watched a lot of your clips when it comes to whether it's the air purifiers or the rabbit airs or the Oasis or even some of the cigars, your unboxing of the Corona Cigar Club, I'll watch that stuff just because I find intellectually when it comes to cigars, I find that you're very intellectually in tune with cigars, but you're also entertaining. It's like what they said when people used to listen to Howard Stern. The people who love Howard Stern, they will listen to him. The number one reason why, I want to wait and hear what he has to say next. The people who hate Howard Stern, they listen to him just twice as long. And what are they waiting for? They're waiting to hear what he's going to say next. And that's kind of like the same thing with you.
Yeah, it did. And I try and keep my 10 minutes. It is rare. I mean, and I'm talking about 1 out of 100 that I'll go above 10 minutes. That's my golden time. I have done my research, and people lose focus after 2 minutes.
Yeah,
they say after 10 minutes, there is no chance of you keeping anybody after because it's that TikTok brain. It really is like 2 to 3 minutes is that sweet spot. But yeah, everything I do under to every unboxing, every tech tip. Everything I do is 9:59 or under. And
the other thing I dislike is these different clips that you'll watch, and it'll be like, I'm going to tell you about the best cigar in the world.
Yeah.
But not cigars. It's an example, bad example, but this cigar, and they'll sit there, they'll tell you where it's from, they'll tell you all about this thing, but they never they fucking wait till it's a 10-minute video or 9-minute, 8-minute video, and they'll freaking finally say it at the end. I read articles like that, and it's like this ridiculous. It's It's almost like they've taken the art of build up and then they multiplied it by 10, and it's so nerve-wracking. It's like those people that are like that do the paintings and stuff like that. They're like, "Oh my gosh, this is gonna look so great. You're gonna love this. Oh my gosh, it looks
Yeah.
so awesome right now. Oh my gosh, you're not gonna believe." And then you're sitting there, and after like 3 minutes, I'm like, "Fuck you," and I swipe and move on.
I say same here. I got so many compliments. I don't know when it was, like 3 or 4 years ago. I did my cigar of the Jessica and I used to do a cigar of the year video, and to get those sweet, sweet watch minutes, we would each do our top 5, and we'd try and stretch it out to like 30 minutes because that's what YouTube wants, the algorithm, keeping you entertained as long as possible watching. And then one year I started off with my video. It's like, hey, this is my #1 cigar of the year. You know, like in the first 30 seconds, you knew what it was, or you knew what my top 5 was. I like blasted through them and then did like 10 minutes talking about it. So many messages, so many comments on that. They're like, thank you. Thank you for just throwing it out there. You know, I only had to watch 30 seconds and I knew what you had. And then it's like, never again did I do another long video like that. I don't.
No.
You know, I stopped doing the intros because that was one thing. A channel I follow, I can't remember the name of it, and this was probably like 3 years ago, and they're like, and it was, 2023 is the year of no intros. Get rid of your intros. Stop bringing people over the hook and playing a 60-second or a 30 or 60-second intro and then going in your video. I'm like, done. I hate intros. I'm always fast forwarding on YouTube, and then I'll hit the wrong button. I'll skip to the next video, and I get pissed, and then I'll end up having to go back, and then it plays from the beginning again, or you lose it. And I've never looked back. Never had another intro video since. And I just start talking, just like we just dive right into that fucking topic of whatever.
Yeah.
So,
No, it makes sense. I mean, it's but yeah, those videos where the people drag it out and drag it out and drag it out, just it is like nails on a chalkboard for me. It just is. And
it is.
And reading the articles too, I see articles like that where, you know, they always catch you, they hook you with the headline.
Yeah.
And then it's like it's buried deep in there, or you know, it's always fake news. They catch you. There'll be like this great big headline, and you'll read the story, be like, man, that was nothing. Like, I thought this is so stupid. And I stopped doing those a long time ago.
It was when I watch or read a review. I read more cigar reviews than I don't watch any. So I read when I go to Coop or Half Wheel.
Yeah.
Or Boston Jimmy. Like I get the emails. I'm like, oh, hey, you know, it's an interesting cigar. Probably half of them, it's like cigars I've never heard of. And I'm like, I don't care. I don't care to read the article. But thank you. So what I'll do, I mean, as soon as I click on the article, I scroll all the way to the bottom, read the score. Yeah. I know what the score is. And then if it's like, this was like an 81, I'm going to go and read how fucked up this cigar was.
Yeah.
You know, or it's a 93. Well, now I got to read why it was so good.
Yeah.
But if it was like an 88 or 89, I'd be like, yeah, it's just middle of the ground. I don't have to read anything.
Was the ashes flaky, Boston Jimmy? That's a 10-point deduction for the flaky ash.
So, but yeah, it's I can scroll on a written review. So I'm back old school, doing the written reviews, reading those.
What's funny is I busted Jimmy's balls about that. And then when he was like, hey, that flaky ash, when it starts freaking falling off, it falls on your jacket, you know, and your shirt. And I was like, oh, okay, I got you. Makes sense.
Yeah.
I get it. I still think it's a heavy deduction, but I get it now. And after after he fucking told me that, the first cigar I was smoking, and it got flaky, and it started fucking coming off. And I was like, God damn, Jimmy's right.
Yeah, I only do a 1-point deduction for a flaky ash.
Yeah. I mean, it's great cigar, smokes well, burns well. It's got flaky ash. If I see flakes early on, I'm ashing it. Honestly, what I have found is when it comes to flaky ash, God damn you, Jimmy. When it comes to flaky ash, you'll experience flaky ash early in the cigar. And if you just knock it off it won't flake again. Maybe later on, but it burns perfectly fine after that. It's if you sit there and you're trying to let it burn to see how long you then Boston Jimmy with his freaking longest ash. But if you let it burn down, it's going to get flaky. It's going to be annoying, and you just knock it off. It'll be over and done with. But he was right. I kind of chuckled when I smoked my first cigar. That's after busted his chops and seeing the flake and it start flaking on me. He's like, God dang it, that son of a bitch is right.
Yeah, I don't.
I need my $300. I need my $300. My ashtray ash protector or whatever those things are.
The bib. Yeah. I don't overthink cigars anymore. Just smoke them, just enjoy them. It's it.
Yep. They taste good, burn good. How many? Right now, like you, I enjoy them. It's like the cigar's always going to be on the flavor, right? That's always most important. But if there's any other kind of mental deductions or mental criticism of the cigar, it's how often do I have to correct the burn?
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, that's it. If it burns a little wonky, I don't care. If the mascara line isn't perfect, laser beam sharp, don't care.
No, but if I'm sitting there and I'm like, son of a bitch, and I got to get the lighter, and I'm like, if I'm fixing it or I'm freaking making it wet, well, I'm doing that often. That gets a little annoying.
I'm thankful for the sizable collection that I have, that I don't tolerate it. 2 to 5 minutes. If I have to touch it once, I just put it out. I don't have time for this. I don't have time to be fucking around with this cigar. If it's 5 minutes in and I've already babied this cigar, I just put it out. I just go grab something else. Don't care.
You know what, Kevin? That's your OnlyFans page.
Yeah.
You sell cigars that you've smoked.
Yeah.
But we're wonky, but you're selling. I guarantee there's going to be a whole group of people that are going to want to smoke the same cigar that your lips are on.
Yeah. I guarantee that.
There you go. You'd be like, I'm selling a 5-pack of my wonky cigars. You can actually see the wet indentation, the teeth marks, and the wet indentation of Kevin Shahan. $100, 5-pack. Boom.
Yeah. Genius. Genius.
I'm telling you, Jessica's gonna sit there and scream and bitch at you and think it's stupid. And the first freaking $1,000 you make in a week, she's gonna be like, you know what, Kevin?
Yeah.
Another Freever production.
That's it. I'm gonna have a whole team of people I gotta hire, local community, just biting cigars. And
no, it's gotta be from you.
Nobody will know.
That's a good point.
Yeah, it'd be a little scam. See, that's what I gotta get. I gotta get one of these scams. That seems like the only way to make $1 million anymore is you got to come up with some kind of scam for people, some little snake oil or a vitamin or.
How much money do you think you can make if you spent money on doing and because they do it now, an AI generated girl that people would know, and then just start an OnlyFans and be like, I'm gonna sell freaking my undergarments and just go to freaking Walmart, pick out some undergarments, throw them in a freaking bag, and because there's people out there who buy that.
They are, and or it's just starting something and which I've thought about in the past. Because a friend of mine, she's in the clothing industry, really, really successful. Well, she was in the clothing. Now she moved to the makeup industry. She's successful in that. But she pays a guy, and it's like 10 grand a week, just to retweet some of her tweets, and that's just a couple of them. And he's one of the biggest. He moved out of fashion as well and into the makeup and other women. Mm-hmm. When I say people think it's a woman that they're dealing with. I mean, the photos and all the time. I mean, he has some of the largest Twitter accounts for makeup, and people think that they're talking. This woman, this female owns this, and it's just some dude.
Dude who freaking has
just some dude has millions and millions of followers.
A real influencer.
That page. I mean, if you put out a tweet about your product, and you want him, hey, here's $1,000. All you have to do is just retweet this. And then that's where his money comes from.
That's the real influencer, right?
Yeah, that is.
That's pretty amazing. But
Like I said, I just need I need a scam. I need a
$1 million scam.
yeah, like I
I'm sure
said,
they're out there.
just
People are
just
gullible.
some device, you know, like the chiropractors, like that little clicker thing that you put on your knees that generates that little shock. God, why can't I come up with that, Kerr? You know, I mean, they're legit chiropractors
Yeah.
that use that. I see them like on TikTok, and I'm like, you know that's a scam. I'm like, I don't want to be the chiropractor that does it. I want to be the guy that made this thing.
I remember in one of my law classes in college, one of the stories that we read about is kind of, you know, the scam of the day. It was an advertisement. They said everything was legal. It talked about how can you save your, you know, reduce your electrical bill by 25, 50%. How do you, you could dry your clothing with this device, and this whole big write up, you know, just send $50. That's it, just $50, and they sent you a wash line.
Yeah, it was the solar powered clothes dryer.
Yeah, and it was all legit. It was all legal, but the way it was written out. But they sent a wash line. They're like, "Here's my $50 piece of rope."
Yeah, it was the copper bust of Abraham Lincoln. Own a piece of history for $19.99, and they sent you a penny.
Yeah, it's crazy though when with that stuff. But yeah, I mean, there's obviously scams and stuff. People's always going to try and make a quick buck, but
yeah, the Moringa oleifera. You know, we used to have a guy that come in. He was friends with our store manager, and he would come in with this sheet. And of all the things, Moringa, it cured AIDS, it cured cancer, it cured all that. But it was photocopied because he was so cheap. Like when he would print like other stuff for his house, like on the back side of this sheet was like random stuff. He was so cheap. He used the clean side, you know. And
oh my god, that's funny.
And then and there was a whole thing on Moringa. And then just make sure you're not using your microwave to heat up like your water, you know, for your tea or anything else, because it puts the microwaves in the water, and that's bad for you. And I got one guy I work with. He's not going to listen to this, Eric. That has like a Moringa tree in his backyard, and they pick the leaves and they like do something with it. And I'm like, it's just these. I'm like, why? I need something like a Moringa. You know, just something that I can.
There's because salesmen, bro.
Yeah, because supplements, they're not regulated by the FDA.
I told you before, you and I could start a company and call it Kevin Cares Vitamins, and we can freaking take. Yeah. There was an article in Time magazine many years ago when they actually brought they bought like 25 or 50 different types of multivitamins and different types of vitamins and supplements, and they tested them. Yeah. And some of them were big names, and it was like, this is ginkgo biloba. It had like 5% ginkgo biloba. The other 95% was like dirt, sugar, shit, freaking some of the stuff that was in these pills. And that's why when people are like, I don't trust pharmaceuticals. I don't trust the pharmaceutical industry. Yeah. I'm not putting anything synthetic in my body. I'm going to go buy ginkgo biloba. I'm like, stop, time out here for a second. Okay, here's the deal. Ginkgo biloba is going to freaking basically a very similar mechanism of action as a Prozac. Okay, the difference is that's not ginkgo biloba. Okay. Yeah. And the odds of that being ginkgo biloba are very, very low, and it's not regulated by the government. You don't know what you're putting in your body, and you don't know what dose is in there. This is manufactured and has to be exactly the same amount of freaking medication that's in that pill. So you're going to get 10 milligrams every single time you take it. It's synthetic, but they do the same thing. Just because something grows in nature doesn't mean it's better for you. There's plenty of poisonous freaking mushrooms and plants out there. Just because it's nature doesn't mean that it's not bad for you.
Yeah,
these things still have an impact on your body, your body's chemistry, much like a pill that you take. If you think that just because you take a pill, it's going to impact your liver, you're full of shit. There are plenty of natural freaking herbs and spices and freaking mushrooms, everything else that will freaking crush your liver. They crush your brain. They will freaking completely rip you apart intracellularly, but it grows in the freaking lawn, so it's got to be freaking good.
That's it. Friend of mine, him and his wife own
Stupid.
like a soap company, all natural. And then a few years ago, they were selling, everything hyaluronic acid. Hyaluronic acid. That was the catchphrase. And so they created like a soap with hyaluronic acid. And he's like, these companies are getting all of this money. And he goes, yeah, I can create like this bar that has more than any other product like on the market. He goes, it's completely safe. And he goes, it cost me a penny, and it was, he goes, it's like I remember when I first started my beard company, or not first, it was already when I met Jessica, and she had bought this bottle of shampoo and argan oil. And that was a big thing in shampoos years ago. And like, oh, this bottle is like $10. Like, yeah, there's no argan oil in there. She's like, no, it says right there. I go, there's very little, because I use argan oil in my beard product. And I go, and I pay $200 for a gallon of it. A pure, argan oil. I go, yeah, no, there's no way there's enough in that bottle, to sell it that cheap.
Right.
I mean, I use like a half a teaspoon, and that's like the bulk of the cost for my product, because it works. It's great stuff.
Right.
But it's so ungodly expensive, but I don't, you put a drop of it in there, you can say it, Moroccan argan oil is in there.
Yeah.
Hyaluronic acid, all of this catchphrase stuff.
Yeah. It's like you said, man, there's always a catch out there. Are we doing our top 10 or no?
No, we gotta wait. Hopefully KMA, so KMA Talk Radio, each week, each season they do they'll choose a top 10. Last season it was a top 10 TV theme songs. So each week, Alex, Coop, and Abe, and then the guest, they'll ask the guest but they'll count down starting from 10 to 1, the top, whatever, it's, like I said, TV theme songs. This season, it's top 10 greatest inventions of your lifetime. So each individual's person's lifetime. So I thought it'd be cool. So a new segment on the show is we'll be joining the KMA crew, and we'll talk about their picks, and then we'll give ours, and we'll count down along with them. So it should be pretty fun and exciting.
Yeah.
So, Kerr, 2 hours flew by, man.
Yeah, it did, man.
Once again, I have no idea what we talked about. I think sports, aliens, and snake oil.
The only thing that will stick with me is argan oil.
Yeah, argan oil, Moroccan
argan oil.
It's the best. If you can get it pure stuff, man, put it in your hair, man. It's why all Moroccans, Indians, like the women have like that jet black hair that's beautiful. Moroccan argan oil. That's the key.
That's the key.
So
what does it do?
On a cellular level, I don't know. Like it absorbs. I think the molecules are really, really, really small, so it's able to penetrate the hair and
so just make it just soft and shiny. It doesn't promote.
Yeah, soft and shiny, and it's able to get in there.
Oh,
so
okay.
it's one of the reasons we use it for our Irish beard balm. irishbeardbalm.com. You can pick it up on the Cigar Prop website or Etsy. It's good stuff.
Moroccan argan oil.
So all right, Kerr.
See you guys.
We'll see everybody